So you're relocating to Michigan. Now, if you're from colder, harsher winter states, such as states on the East Coast, or more colder western states, such as Colorado, then this video is going to be something that you can relate to quite well as you experience these very same experiences in the current state that you live in. But if you live in warmer states down south, such as Florida, Georgia, or the Carolinas, or warmer states out west, such as California or Texas, then this video is going to provide you the insightful information you're going to need to know and you're going to want to know about how to survive Michigan winters before you make the move here. And if you stay till the end of this video, you are going to find out what types of cities I recommend moving to here in Michigan if you want to make surviving these Michigan winters easier on yourself. And we're going to get into all of this right now. Hey, what's going on, everybody? William Robleski with the Living in Michigan team. And hey, why don't you go ahead and please do me a favor? If you enjoy these videos, they provide you insightful information about when you make your move here to Southeast Michigan, then go ahead and click that subscribe button and turn on the post notification bell. And please leave a comment down below letting me know more of what you want to see, types of videos you would like me to do. I take those very serious, and I will make sure to make those types of videos for all of you. Now, as I said, we're going to be going over 5 tips I have, 5 things about the brutal, honest truth that you're going to need to know about moving here to Southeast Michigan and how to survive these, quite honest, harsh at times, Michigan winters. And coming in at number 1, you're going to have to know about the roads and specifically the potholes here in Michigan, especially during the winter. Michigan roads, this is probably, in my opinion, and if you were to ask other Michiganders, they'd probably agree with me. The roads in Michigan, especially during the winters, are very bad. They're very poor because of the constant snow, the constant rain, the sleek ice. There's always salt from sulfur trucks, always on the roads, which chip away at paint on your cars. But that's not the big issue. The big issues are the potholes that we have in Michigan. We do a very poor job here in Michigan at properly fixing roads. We just kind of fill in all the potholes instead of completely redoing roads. Don't get me wrong, we have redone some roads, but there's a lot of roads, especially side roads, not, not big highways and stuff, that they just have potholes that are very poorly maintained, very poorly fixed. As a result, your cars often take beatings. I hear stories all the time of people hitting a pothole too hard. They have to go into the shop, they have to go into a Bell Tire, their dealership, and they just gotta fix stuff with the undercarriage of their car and their tires. Insurance is typically higher here in the great state of Michigan. Insurance is about 25% higher than what you're gonna pay in other states, simply due to the road conditions being worse, lead to more accidents, and lead to more damage on cars. The average amount that people pay on car insurance here in Michigan is about $5,000, and obviously, it's not something you look forward to paying, but it's a part of life. But that's the number one thing, my opinion, the biggest issue about how to survive winters here in Michigan. The number 2 thing that you're going to need to know about when moving here to Michigan is the weather, specifically the snow in the wintertime. Now, I told you I was going to be brutally honest in this video. I'm looking to provide you with the best insight possible. Michigan weather can be bad at times, do not get me wrong. There's been times where we have gotten 5, 6, 7 inches of snow in a day and a half. But in recent years, the snow, especially here in Southeast Michigan, has calmed down quite a bit. Now, if you're going to be moving to the northern parts of Michigan, once you start to get to the upper peninsula, the very far north areas, you're going to get a lot of snow. It is constantly extremely poor weather up there. You can expect to see 10 inches, 12 inches of snow at times up there in northern Michigan. But here in Southeast Michigan, typically the last few years, I really haven't seen any more than 2, 3, at absolute max 4 inches of snow here. But of course, with snow, especially if you're going to be raising a family here, your kids, they get excited a lot about those. They'll get snow days for school. You might get days off of work. It's um it's not always a bad thing to have snow here in Southeast Michigan. Personally, from self experiences myself, I love to snowboard. I go snowboarding with friends, I go snowboarding with family, I go snowboarding with my little sister. And here in Southeast Michigan, we have some great hills. We have Mount Holly and we have Pine Knob, are two of the biggest ones that are nearby here in Southeast Michigan. And this snowfall can help me get to those hills. And if you're looking to get into snowboarding or skiing or any outdoor activities in the winter, the snow is a great time to do that. So although if you're moving from sunny California or sunny hot Florida or humid Texas, although it's going to suck to have to adapt to the change of having a bunch of snowfall here in Southeast Michigan, there's pros and cons to it. And some of the pros are that you're going to get to go do some outdoor activities that you don't get to do out in the warmer states. The third thing I'm looking to cover about surviving Michigan winters is how to drive in the snow. Moving from warmer states, as I've mentioned before, you've never had to deal with driving in the snow. It's always nice. It's never sleek and icy on the road. Here in Michigan, that's something you're going to have to adapt to here in the winter times. We have black ice here in Michigan, just ice you can't see on the roads. It's kind of just a slick cover straight across the road. It leads to a lot of accidents when you're driving too fast. You just slide right across it. Part of the reason insurance is so high because there's a lot of accidents in the winter. But here in Michigan, you got to be extra cautious when driving in the wintertime, especially when it was extra cold the night before or if there was recently snow or rainfall. Because if you don't, it could seriously lead to car accidents. You could damage your car, and that's just something that we do not want to obviously happen. I don't want to have it happen to me. I don't want to have it happen to you guys, and I certainly know you don't want it to happen to yourselves. So a recommendation I would have is especially a four-wheel drive car. If you have sports cars or you have two-wheel drive cars, those often don't go too well in the winter. You know, your tires, they spin out in the back, they spin out in the front. You'll start doing 360s in your car on the road. It's just something you don't want to have to worry about. So if you have a four-wheel drive car, it's going to be great here in Michigan. You have a truck, anything like that, it'll handle quite nicely on the road. Or if you're looking to buy a car in the future and you're also going to be moving here to the Michigan area, I would highly recommend getting a four-wheel drive car for the winters because otherwise you're really going to be having risky encounters on the road. Even with four-wheel drive cars, I drive one. I slide across the road sometimes, lose a little bit of control. Just not something you want to deal with. It's scary at times. So if you have the option, I would certainly have a four-wheel drive car in your household. The number four thing that you're going to have to know about when moving here to Michigan and about our winters is if you're buying a house with a pool. If you're moving from warmer states, obviously your pool is open all year around. You don't have to worry about it. But here in Michigan, that's not the case. Once you hit mid-September, typically, you have to have a pool company come out. And when the pool company comes out, they're going to winterize the pool for you. They're going to, put a cover over it. They're going to drain all the water. They're just going to make it so you don't have issues with your pool over the winter. Because let me tell you, if you decide to leave your pool open over the winter, you're going to have bursting and busting pipes underground, under your pool. It's going to be a giant mess. It's going to cost you thousands and thousands of dollars to get fixed. So when you're moving here to Michigan, it may seem like common sense, but I've seen people before that just don't winterize their pool. You have to when here in Michigan. It's going to cost you in the long run if you don't. Just spend a couple $100s, have a pool company come out, winterize the pool for you, and you'll be all set and safe for the winter here in Michigan. And the fifth and final thing about how to survive Michigan winters is to get a roof rake. Now, if you don't know what a roof rake is, it's pretty much a long stick. It's a long pole. It's a rake that you can use to kind of scrape the snow off of your roof. And you're probably asking, William, what are you telling me this for? Why do I really need this? And it's because when it snows here in Michigan, the snow starts to pile up on your roof. And when it piles up on your roof, snow is heavy when it starts to compact and build up. And when you have heavy, wet snow on your roof, it can lead to issues such as ice damming. It can lead to leakage through your roof. It causes damage to your gutters. Just all things that in the future will lead to nothing but pain and expenses to get fixed. You can evade and avoid all of this by just investing in a roof rake. Whenever you get some snowfall, you're going to go outside, you're going to shovel the driveway, snowball the driveway, whichever you prefer. And while you're at it, just take your roof rake and go ahead and rake all that snow right off your roof to prevent any issues in the future that'll cost you a lot of money and time. And with that being said, that is the 5 tips I have about the truths and what you're going to need to know on how to survive Michigan winters, especially with the winter season quickly approaching us. We're almost in December here. I told you if you stayed to the end of the video, I was going to tell you the best areas I would recommend moving to make Michigan winters as easy as possible on yourself. And in my opinion, from personal experience, I would recommend moving to city areas. The reason for this is the main issue with Michigan winters are the roads and driving. And if you're living in big city areas, your HOA, they're going to have these sulfur trucks, these snowplower trucks. They're going to clear the snow off of your subdivisions. And then on your main roads, they're also going to be doing the same thing. If you move to more rural areas, especially as you go more north, you're going to run into a lot of more country land, more farmland. And as a result, you don't really have those sulfur trucks out there. So you at times might have just 4 or 5 inches of snow piled up on your roads. It's just a hassle. So if you're looking to move to an area where it's going to be as easy as possible on you and your family, as stress free as possible, then definitely more urban city areas is what I would recommend when moving to Michigan. With that being said, that is everything that I was looking to cover here in this video on how to survive Michigan winters. We help lots and lots of clients. We get hundreds of reach outs from people just like you looking to move here to Michigan. But we can't help you out if you don't make the initial contact. My phone number, my email, both in the description of this video. They also popped up at the beginning of this video. All you got to do is reach out. Days, nights, weekends, weekdays, it doesn't matter. I work around the clock. Whenever is best for you, you give me a shout, you give me a text, you shoot me an email, whatever you want to do. We are here to help you make your move to Michigan as easy as possible. All you got to do is reach out, and we're here to help you out.